grandparents or my ex or whatever. That story has to end.
When people look at the money that they're making and then the amount of effort that it takes them to make that money, they're like, you know what, at least I worked hard for my money. Bro, money gets printed out of thin air. You need to figure out how to make as much of it for the least amount of effort as possible. Why? Because there's dudes out there that are printing it. I don't think you understand. They're literally printing it. Printing it, and you're out here working for it, slaving away. So you need to ask yourself, how can I get as much money as possible for the least amount of effort? So you need to start a business. You need to be able to understand how to arbitrage. You need to learn how to sell. You need to learn how to market. These basic skills, because the assumption that you're going to find security in a job is a fallacy. They can fire you for any of a million reasons tomorrow. Your skills are what's going to determine if you stay afloat or not, if you have the ability to make money. The job doesn't count. The idea of having a side hustle that you're not actually fully invested doesn't count. You need to be focused on making money. Money is the name of the game. You have to take care of it.
You are a creative force. Get the millionaire mindset. If you don't have the millionaire mindset, that money is a renewable resource and that you can create, and it is God, the universe, which is the source of your supply, that gives you the power to get breath. If you don't have that mindset, then you're going to have a struggle making your first million and making any large amounts of money. Money is a renewable resource. You can create money.
Now let me give you a description of the one thing which represents the main difference between a successful person and a failure. Please listen carefully and think for yourself as I speak, because failure to recognize the truth I am about to give you is the starting point of most failures. Successful people in all occupations, all professions, and all callings have one trait which distinguishes them from the failures. It is their capacity for belief. The failures see the hole in the donut, but do not see the donut around the hole. The successes see the hole also, but they see the donut around the hole.
Changing your psychology around money changes absolutely everything.
The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank. The way you feel about money is highly uncorrelated to how much you've got in the bank. We're going to go back to childhood and we're going to go to the future. What conversations do you remember your family having when you were young about money? What phrases? Here's some examples that might sound familiar. We can't afford it. Here's the consequence of that. This person, hopefully, they end up in a pretty nice job. Maybe they've done well. They have some decent amount of money. They come to me and they go, why do I still feel guilty ordering a salad when I eat out? And my partner is saying, we have the money. Look at our checking account. Why? Well, trace it all the way back to conversations you had starting at age 6.
Wow.
It's not about wealth. It's who you become.
Isn't it a strange fact that most people make a negative application of their great power of faith by thinking about and believing in poverty, ill health, fear, failure, and defeat, when it would be so easy for them just to change their thinking over to the circumstances and things they desire? If you aim for success above mediocrity, you will need to learn to act on your own personal initiative, because your success is something which you must achieve for yourself without someone telling you what to do or how to do it. There are two kinds of men who never amount to much: those who cannot do as they are told, and those who can do nothing else.
Most people learn how to fail and not to succeed. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. When they developed Tesla, everybody thought, not a new idea. But they were persistent, they were convincing, and they could see something that most people did not see. The same thing with Google, the same thing with Apple. They were providing something that people were looking for, but they did not know how to put it together. So if you want to be a billionaire, you have to start thinking what will work and not only what will fail. Billionaires look at their experience and say, this did not work, what can I learn from it? You have to change the way you think. Think about it.
There's been many periods in my life that I've had internal growth, which was this: work, 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 no results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 no results, but I'm a little bit better. Work, 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 no results, I'm a little bit better. Work, boom, just
got paid.
I just got paid, and it looks like overnight success.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, shit, it happened in a year. No, bro, it doesn't. Because if you do all those things, even if nothing happens and you know you're doing the right thing and you're on track, overnight success becomes this easy thing because you were internally growing, and then the bubble popped, and then boom, it looks like you were doing it all wrong.
You want to make money, the key to making money is serving the most amount of people. The more people you serve, the more money you make. People always say, athletes make so much money. Doctors should make more money than athletes. But I'm like, wait, how many patients you got? How many patients you got? The doctor got 30 patients. Well, you got 30 patient money. But how many people are enjoying watching LeBron play? Hundreds of millions. So he gets hundreds of millions of dollars. I said, dude, don't ever get it twisted. You serve more people, you get more props, you get more money.
Another way to get wealth is through servanthood. Listen very carefully. The more people you serve, the richer you become. The more people that you can serve and the more needs you can meet, the more successful you become.
If you're going to put your effort into something and you're going to work on something, you cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. I'm going to write a book. I can't afford to think that it won't sell. I'm going to build a business. I can't afford to think that I'm not going to get any clients.
Do not accept from life or anyone else anything you do not desire. And remember that Mahatma Gandhi proved himself to be more powerful than the great British military forces by this simple method of passive resistance. Keep your mind eternally engaged in thinking of that which you desire most, your major purpose in life, so no time will be left for you to waste on thinking of that which you do not want.
The more I listen to this, the better my life gets. If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
Write out this sentence and paste it in a prominent place where you work and on a mirror where you see yourself in your home. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve. Remember also that you are the only person who can provide you with a positive mental attitude. What are you going to do about it? On your answer to this question rests your entire future.
Opportunities in life are like trains. There's always another one coming. There's not like this is the last opportunity that will ever present itself to you in this lifetime. No, there are an abundance of opportunities, tons of opportunities. There's huge amounts, and if you don't take advantage of this because of various conditions and circumstances that you can't, there'll be another one down the road. This is the confidence or knowing this that you can and will have tons of opportunities in this lifetime. You can't take advantage of every single one. Take advantage of the ones you want.
Bro, it's so easy to make money. You know this. Online, anybody can go out and make 10 grand a month. Literally. I was talking with a guy in Singapore, probably worth a couple $1 billion. I was having a conversation with him, and he's like, you know what the biggest issue is between the elite and people that make no money? I'm like, what? Financial literacy. He said, most people are financially illiterate, and it's a language. And what do you mean it's a language? He's like, yes, finance is the language of the elite. Self-education will never betray you. Self-education will never betray you. You have to sit down. You don't like to read books. Nobody gives a The marketplace doesn't care.
In order for us to change a belief or perception about ourselves and our lives, we have to make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that's greater than the hardwired programs in your brain and the emotional conditioning in your body. And your body literally has to respond to your mind. Examine your personality and examine your personal reality. Change your personality, change your personal reality. Don't make it be about abundance. Make it about becoming abundant by overcoming the person who's not abundant.
There's a moment when every boy realizes no one's coming to save him. And that's when he becomes a man. And some boys never get there and stay children forever.
A winner never quits, and a quitter never wins. Definiteness of purpose. By now you should know what you want most from life, and you should have a plan for getting it. Going the extra mile. This is a must if your major purpose is anything above mediocrity.
Wake up every day. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want your dream? It's so much easier to forget that vision than to remember it, right? So if you're going to remember it, you got to keep it alive in your mind. How do you keep it alive in your mind? You disconnect from your environment. You close your eyes. You play music in the background. Don't be thinking about what's going to happen in your day. You already know what's going to happen. Don't think what happened yesterday. You already know that. Get in the present moment and say, who do I want to be when I open my eyes? Who do I want to be today? What would greatness look like? How would one day, one shot, one lifetime, what would an abundant person do?
Don't let losers and brokies sit and say to you, oh, all our graves are the same, it doesn't matter. No, it does matter. You were not born to suffer and die without being remembered or leaving a mark on this planet. You weren't born for that. You were born to do something great and to be remembered. You were born to leave offspring, which are so fantastic,